I'm Dr. Jeromy Teuton. I'm a research scientist at the National Lab in the Tri-Cities. And of course, whenever I say that, I have to point out that they in no way endorse my candidacy because they're federally funded, and that would be a big no-no. I've always been interested in politics. I've always followed races, followed issues, been the annoying guy who talks politics at parties, but I kind of made the decision that I was going to be a scientist. I was going to do my thing. I was going to keep my head down and let them run the government. In 2013, the day I brought my son home from the hospital, our firstborn, was the day the federal government shut down. And I talked to all my friends. I said, this is it. This is the last straw. Maybe people will finally snap out of this and see that our government can't be a game between two teams, that their goal is more to beat the other one than to actually run our government. And I watched, and nothing got better, and nothing got improved, and none of the structural things that were making our country fall apart, which I would say number one is Citizens United, but it started long before that. None of that got improved. None of that seemed to be progressing. So then I saw Bernie Sanders run for president, and this is a man who I respect a lot, but let's be honest, he's not a Democrat. The fact that he ran as a Democrat was both, I understood the tactic of it, and I also understood that just highlights how badly our system is messed up, that a government that was never intended to have parties, that was never intended to be these two national private clubs that push their issues down to the local and state and federal level, that had become so entrenched that even a man as clearly progressive, as clearly independent as Bernie, had to run as a member of one or two parties. So I decided I would run for Senate. I would run because I've lived all over Washington State. I'm not a great representative for any one single part, but I've lived in Seattle, I've lived in Spokane, I now live in the Tri-Cities. I thought I'd be a good representative for the whole state. I thought that running against the two parties might be enough of a novel thing to get some media attention. Your comment about not getting media attention is 100% on. My campaign in 2016 was contacted by every news radio station in the state, by every newspaper in the state, and 100% from their ad department offering to take money to run ads. Not a single newspaper even asked how to spell or pronounce my name. They were in no way interested. The local news stations. I went to Spokane for an event that a grassroots group started there called Politics in the Park in Riverfront Park. I highly recommend if anybody makes it to that side of the state. I hope they're going to try and do that again this year. News crew showed up. The moment they found out there were actual candidates there, they turned off their camera and left. That's the level of disinterest in anybody but the two horse race that our system has. So I'm a progressive candidate. I fit very well with the Greens, very well with Justice Party. I've been in some contact with Justice Democrats and Our Voice. I'm not sure where either of those are going to go. Definitely, probably not very far with Justice Dems. One, they're too linked to the Democratic Party. Two, they do have a national PAC that they give money from, and I'm against that premise. And three, I think they're focusing on House races, not Senate.